something he do bad, you're MAGA, then you're liberal. That swing back and forth like it's our fault, bro.
Yeah.
My Democrat friends called me Trumper, and then my conservative friends always call me communist.
Yeah,
Communist.
Well, guys, we're going to switch gears to another big announcement this week. Trump's Board of Peace. As you can see my picture, I kind of troll it. I'm sure Kimberly was rushing for this topic too. Let's watch what Trump has to say about his Board of Peace.
Wants to be on it, but yeah, I have some controversial people on it, but these are people that get the job done. These are people that have tremendous influence, and if I put all babies on the board, there wouldn't be very much. So he was invited, he's accepted. Many people have accepted. I don't know of anybody that hasn't accepted, but it's going to be great. I think the Board of Peace will be the most prestigious board ever, and it's going to get a lot of work done that the United Nations should have done. And we'll work with the United Nations, but the Board of Peace is going to be special. We're going to have peace. It started off with Gaza, the Middle East. We've got peace in the Middle East.
Jesus, if this is what they're holding up, the fucking bars of hell.
By taking out the Iran.
Because they still fight in Gaza, so I mean.
But the board is going to be, I think, really fantastic. And I think it'll be the most prestigious board of any board ever in world history.
Mia, you seem pretty fired up about this. Are we going to have a Board of Peace? My father's country, Morocco, is one of the countries that has signed on. So, I believe Morocco can do it. I'm just kidding. They fucking can't. They're still fucking a war in Gaza, and they claim to have been playing both sides between them. They play both sides between their Muslim brothers and Israel, but that's another conversation. What do you think? Is there going to be peace?
I mean, no. Peace is not profitable. There's never going to be peace. Peace is not profitable. If peace was profitable, it'd be world peace. We'd all be living peacefully together. Kumbaya, motherfucker. But peace is not profitable, and we're never going to have it because money talks and the rest of it all just walks away. These people don't care as long as they're being paid. Do I think there are genuine people out there that obviously want peace? Sure. I would love peace everywhere. And in theory, I don't want anybody having to go to war, kids dying, famine, drought, nothing like that. However, I mean, if they're using Gaza as the gauge, yes, the expectation is in hell. Like the expectation is down in hell because people are still dying in Gaza. There's still a war over there. I mean, that whole conflict has not been solved. I mean, Russia and Ukraine have not been solved. Basically, nothing in the world's been solved. The only thing we've done is we've did a no-knock warrant on Medeiros. That's the only thing we've done lately. Let's say is a no-knock warrant on that man. But other than that, all of the other conflicts, they're still going. So, I mean, I don't really have high hopes, but hopefully they do something. Hopefully.
Doc, do you have high hopes? Will Trump finally get that? Trump wants that peace prize, man. He done created the Board of Peace. How can you not give him the peace prize in 2026, Doc? What do you think?
No, I don't think he'd be able to make a Board of Peace. And the problem I don't think he'd be able to make a Board of Peace is because I don't think he would be able to indoctrinate the countries that could ensure the peace. So I don't think he could get those countries who have that influence to sign on because most of those countries see themselves as the top dog. So who's gonna, no one's gonna want to capitulate. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'd be possible. I think his Board of Peace might look a little funkier than what we would think peace would look like. I see they got the Dark Vader's joint and stuff on there. I think the ideal is a good idea that he wants to, bring something new because, all those old alliances and stuff, they aren't really serving us well. But I just don't think that this will come to fruition, at least not in his time in office.
Yeah. So let's watch his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Let's see what he has to say about this peace that he's going to help with in the Middle East.
A master plan. We brought in, I think, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years. And so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen. Rothel will start with. This will show a lot of workforce housing. We think this could be done in 2-3 years. We've already started removing the rubble and doing some of the demolition. And then New Gaza. It could be a hope. It could be a destination, have a lot of industry, and really be a place that the people there can thrive, have great employment. Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment and opportunity for everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security, and it all starts with governance. Final note I'll just say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices from all over the world, and we're watching who does education the best, who does healthcare delivery the best. All of these things it's not secret IP. All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America, if they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really show how do you do peace implementation, which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just document these learnings and make them available to all else who want to use them in the future. So demilitarization, this is something we're starting now that we have a new government in Gaza. This government will be working with Hamas on the demilitarization to really take the principles that were agreed to in the document to the next phase, and hopefully that will be successful. Without that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back Gaza and the people of Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important. So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter, but then creating the conditions to move forward. So thank you. Final point I'll just make is this is really only possible because of the work of so many people and President Trump's great leadership. But a lot of you have been asking, how can we help? So the countries have all been incredibly generous. We'll be doing the first conference where we'll announce a lot of the contributions that will be made in a couple weeks in Washington. From the private sector, there'll be amazing investment opportunities. I know it's a little risky to be investing in a place like this, but we need you to come, take faith, invest in the people, try to be a part of it. And then finally, I'll just talk to people on the media and on the social media, which is this deal only happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together. We worked with UAE. We all worked together to make this happen. I see a lot of people trying to escalate, criticizing Israel or Israelis criticizing Turkey or Qatar. Just calm down for 30 days. I think that the war's over. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. Everyone wants to live peacefully. Everyone wants to live with dignity. Let's put our efforts towards promoting those who are doing the work to build this up, like Ali and his committee. Let's focus on the positive stories, and let's just calm down, turn a new chapter. And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible. So we're going to continue to work every day. We need all of your help to do it. And again, I just really want to thank President Trump for his leadership in doing this. This would not have been possible without your commitment to this. Everyone thought it was impossible to end this war. You never gave up. You never stopped. Every time there was a setback, you told us to try harder. You gave us different ideas. And we've made several impossible things happen just in Gaza to date. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make even more impossible things happen. So really, thank you.
I want to go back to the start of this. Hold on. Where's the high rises?
So-
I have to pull it up. Kimberly, while I look for that, what's your thoughts? Will we have peace? You think this is real? What's going to happen to the people? They're going to ship them somewhere? What do you think? There was a lot of questions he didn't answer. It sounded nice. It sounded good. But what happens to the people? Like, where do they go?
I think they're going to try to exile them or have them again as second-class citizens in the new territory. Big picture, Israel has always said that they believe in a greater Israel, which includes Lebanon and parts of Syria and all of Gaza and all of the West Bank. And the problem with that and the problem with Zionism is that you cannot get that without murdering a bunch of people, which they already fucking have. And literally no other group of people or country or territory is forced to exist without a fucking military or some type of militarization. Similar to how they charged Maduro with like owning like what were those AK-47s? What the fuck are we doing here? Jesus Christ. I actually appreciate it when Donald Trump says the quiet part out loud. Like, we're kidding ourselves here about a fucking peace plan. There is no peace as long as they're second class citizens. That's how they've lived in apartheid in the West Bank and in Gaza, they've actually been in like what some, not me, but historians call a modern day concentration camp. And that's how you got the outbreak of Gaza in October 7th.
John, you trying to get us canceled? You know we can't answer this goddamn question. Try again. I love you, but I'm not answering that, and I don't want anyone answering that. The reality is we can't answer that. So, with this being said, to answer someone, this is what's going to be paying for these high rises. This is the reality. It has to get paid for. You're not going to get, I hate to say it, you're not going to get billionaires of countries to care about these people unless there's something in it for them. I mean, do you agree with that, Kimberly, or no? You think people should just give them money to help them rebuild? The reality is the world doesn't work like that.
That's not true. Well, when we talk about the world doesn't want them, we're talking about like governments, right? Like
nobody wants those people in their freaking country. What
they shouldn't have to. They should just live in their own land.
They shouldn't have to. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you understand my question. What I'm saying is, well, you're probably not going to get the question.
Well, when you get refugees of war and refugees of war-torn countries, like you get with the Somalians, you're getting people who have been emotionally just devastated through like mass murder, impoverished situations. So yeah, they're not gonna be like A+, people, but it's also like they should be living in their land. People smarter than me have always fallen back to 1967 borders, two-state solution, right? But they're not going to get that because Israel wants a greater Israel. They want all of it, including all of Lebanon and parts of Syria, which they have to attack Iran for that because Iran backs them. So it's all just very sad. They've estimated about 100,000 to 200,000 people dead already. And that is sad. I don't understand what was so controversial about that guy's question, but it is
controversial.
It's no use in comparing because it's different. No use
in comparing. It's different. They're going to say it was whatever, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, whatever the millions are.
It's a genocide.
They're going to say it's worse though.
So I get that it may be a difficult situation to fix the situation in Gaza, right? Why no one can fix the situation in the West Bank?
Because they don't want to stand up to Israel. Because Israel owns the Israel lobby owns the United States government.
The people in the West Bank haven't been doing the things that Hamas has been doing in Gaza. The people of the West Bank haven't been attacking Israel. But the people of the West Bank still live in apartheid. The people of the West Bank have still been killed by IDF soldiers, and they haven't been given fair trials. The people in the West Bank live under these same bad conditions. So maybe it is a problem in Gaza and people can't fix Gaza. I don't see an easy solution because I realize what's going on. Why can't we do something for the West Bank? What's the problem there? Why has nobody stepped up and fixed that? Because they don't have the same militarization and they haven't been bombing and storming over the borders.
It's not that they can't, it's that they won't.
No, you're a fucking idiot, Brian. I'm sick of your shit. I'm about to block your ass. You've been getting on my goddamn nerves all fucking night. You're a fucking retard. The reality is, you know goddamn well who runs this fucking world. So shut the fuck up. Anyways, sorry, that's the fucking reality. The reality is it's not that fucking simple. Nobody is going to give anyone anything for fucking free. That's the reality. And this is why I stand with Donald Trump on this. Nobody is going to go clean these people's homes up, unfortunately. The reality is Donald Trump has to put this plan forward. Enzo explained it better than me. Like, this is the reality. I don't know what else to say. You're fucking dumb if you think otherwise.
So basically, like Nora was saying, there's going to be no country in the world that's just going to go into a war-torn area and not get something that they want at the end of the day. We've done this time in and time out. Look at what happened after World War I and World War II, the two most destructive wars in the entire fucking world. We went and rebuilt Europe twice, but we got something out of it. We got control over East Germany for what, nearly 40 years after, and then we gave them their independence after that, and we still have control pretty much, with us controlling them in their military, supplying them through the EU, multiple things. They're gonna want to get their money back, because if we don't do something like this and you don't have countries come together and actually rebuild Gaza Gaza like how it is, it's gonna turn into a country like Somalia. It's gonna turn into a country like Burkina Faso, Libya. I think Iraq's a lot better now, but Iraq in the meantime, where nobody did anything,
Afghanistan.
It's going to turn into that. Do we want to put these people in a worse situation, or do we want to actually help them out?
That's not going to help the people out. It's just going to help a bunch of rich people get richer.
Okay,
what
cool.
we can do is allow for the
Somalia.
international community to send aid so that they can rebuild themselves and give them a two-state solution, 1967 borders. But we are not going to do that. Not because we can't, because we won't. Because
Kimberly,
Israel believes
the reality
in
is
greater
Hamas
Israel.
No, because Israel's
Hamas steals their aid, and I'm telling you this as somebody of Arab descent.
I'm not here to
steals their aid.
defend Hamas. I know I'm not saying that Hamas doesn't do bad things. But what I'm saying is we need to give the Palestinian people their own fucking sovereignty, a two-state solution, 1967 borders. It really is not that complicated. The only thing that makes it complicated is that the United States government will not fucking do that.
No,
Because
it's
they
Hamas
won't
that's the
not-
one that's complicating. It's Hamas that's
Yes.
complicating. It's
No,
not the
it's not.
Palestinians. Yes, who
No,
controls?
it's not. They've come to
controls
agreements before,
Who
and
controls
you can't
Palestine?
force a group of people to demilitarize when
Yeah,
they're up against the
Okay, so
when
here's
they're up
this is what you
against
need
the
to look at it.
Israel.
This is how you need to look at it. I'll explain it to you this way. Israel is not going to put themselves in a position where they're going to be slaughtered like they were before. That's why they're to have a
Israel
two-state
did put
solution with a
themselves in that
terrorist
position.
organization. Hold on. Israel is not going to put themselves in a situation with a terrorist organization. They're not going to do that.
Okay, this is what I'm
if
talking about, the
the
New World
Palestinian
Order, where we
people- if
hold one group of people to not the same standard that we hold other group of people to. If Hamas is a terrorist organization, which it is, then so is fucking Israel.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes, it is.
Yes.
not even close.
100%.
Yes,
Not
it
even
is.
close.
Yes, it is.
100% close.
No.
It's the same.
Jesus, Kim, are you trying to
The
get
only
my
reason there was an October 7th is because Israel fucking wanted it. Bibi Netanyahu was caught in a hot mic. He said, we don't want the other people to win. We want Hamas to win. That's why they eased the funding through Qatar to allow the funding of Hamas, because they wanted a militant group there 18 years ago to win that election, because they knew it would lead to an eventual October 7th, because they wanted to go in there and carpet bomb the whole fucking shit, so then they can go back in there now and rebuild it and make a bunch of fucking money out of it. Because like I said, Israel wants a greater Israel, and they're not going to fucking stop, and the United States government is going to let them.
Okay,
At
I know
what
about the
cost?
greater Israel
At the
theory.
cost of hundreds of thousands of innocent lives.
I know about the greater Israel theory, and I'm not going to sit here and dispute
It's not a
that,
theory.
but
They literally say that.
it
Israel
is a
always
theory.
says that. Bibi
it's
Netanyahu
a
has said
theory
that.
until it's a theory
Not a
until
theory.
action. It's a theory until action takes place. And
Okay,
they
they're
start
doing it now.
moving.
They're
Okay, no,
literally
they're
doing it now.
All right, so listen. The greater Israel theory, like I said, sure, I'm not going to dispute that whatsoever. But you saying that 18 years ago Netanyahu had this magic plan that he knew Hamas
Yes,
was going
he was
to
caught in a hot mic, and he
dude,
literally admitted
you need
that.
to put down the blunt. You need to put down the blunt, because that's the craziest fucking conspiracy I've ever heard in my
It's not a
entire life.
conspiracy.
That
It's been
Netanyahu
reported.
fucking came up
It's
with
literally
this.
what they wanted.
Yeah, all right.
He held
I'll
the
believe that.
funding
I'll
up.
believe that when I see a pig fly.
Okay, I'll send it to you. He helped the funding of Hamas.
Trust me, I've looked
because he
into.
wanted the Hamas party to win.
Ask
18
ask
when
me.
they had an election.
I've been
Because
on
the opposition of
both
Hamas
sides of the fence.
was not
I've been
a
on both
militant
sides of the
group.
fence with
They
it.
wanted
I've been
a
on both
militant
sides of
group
the
to
fence with
win
it.
because
And
they
I've looked at
wanted
the
to plan out
Palestinian
for this
side, and I've
eventual
looked at the
October
Israel
7th
side, and
attack.
trust me, I've come to the determination that I don't really give a fuck. But that's one thing that I've never seen in any of the research that I've ever
Okay,
seen.
I'll send it
That
to you.
Netanyahu is the one that fucking came
But
up with the entire
you
thing.
wouldn't consider Israel terrorists?
No.
I'm
But
talking about the
so you would
Israeli
hold on,
military
Kim.
and the
You wouldn't
extreme right.
you wouldn't
Can we not
consider
say,
that.
can we not say their name? Can we not say their name?
All right, you wouldn't consider that today, but what about you're looking at it today, right? And you're thinking of Hamas. What about when the first intifada happened, when the second intifada happened? I think you're fast forwarding and you're looking it through a lens of today. What about when these people
I know
already had this land? These people already had this land, and these people came in who weren't from here and stole this land, and we fought about it. You would consider these people what if we already have a country?
Colonizers?
No, because they didn't win.
Yes,
These
because
people didn't
every
win.
single. So France didn't win a lot of the wars where they tried to colonize countries. Does that make them terrorists? No. Same thing with America. Does that make them terrorists? No. Because let's talk about Vietnam. We went to Vietnam.
depends
Does that
on the
make us
lens.
Vietnams because we didn't win there? No. It makes no. The argument is never going to make sense, Doc, because they
What I'm
didn't
saying
win
is,
doesn't make them a terrorist. I know the
what do you
history
think the
of
people
Israel.
think? What do you think the people think? You don't think
People,
that.
you
Over
listen,
there, they think I've been, so I know
that's fine.
that's
fine.
what they think.
Here's what I'll say. Everyone has an opinion, just like they have an asshole. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care what people's opinions
But
are.
I
Everybody
don't-
calls a T group. Everybody calls this a T group, that a T group. In the world that we are right now, everyone wants a boogeyman in the world, and everyone's gonna blame Israel because what's going on in Gaza
made it up.
for 100,000 people that have fucking died. War is war. I'm sorry, I don't really give a fuck. They're not a terrorist organization. They're not a terrorist
It's easy to
country.
say that. I think you got to go scrap it up and figure out if war is war. See, it's easy to
War
say
is
that.
war.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
because
it's
here's the
not.
thing. Here's the
It's
thing.
not.
Here's the
You got to
thing.
go scrap it on and find out.
No,
it's
it
not.
is.
It's
It
not.
is, because
It's easy to say that on the
if
mic.
we don't have people
It's easy to
fighting,
go
then me
scrap
and
your
you.
boots and say
fine.
war
That's
is
fine.
war. It's
That's
different.
fine. And hold on,
It's different.
Listen,
It's different
no,
when
it's
you
not
know
different.
what it looks
No,
like.
it's not
Yes,
different
it is.
because if
It's
we didn't have
different.
people fighting for us, then we
It's
would have to fight
different.
on our own land. No, it's not. War
It
is
is.
war.
I think
That's why
I think
people
the
volunteer
biggest
to do
I got
this.
a question for Doc. Hold on, Doc. Somebody that's actually seen war. Did you see children? As many children? Did you see a lot of children getting unalived in Iraq when you went to Iraq? Was it men,
Yes.
children? So it was a
Yes.
lot of children. So
Yes.
war is war then. Because the whole
What-
argument for
what-
why people say this
what-
is different in Gaza is over half of the population is children.
Why I tell you that when people say war is war, they don't realize certain things about war, because just like when you see those videos and you say and it makes you go, you got to magnify that by 1,000,000. You know what I mean? And people don't realize that when someone comes, we use these ideas of T groups and this. Those are just those people's government. And they look at us in the same light when we come because they don't believe what we believe. And I believe in the greatness of America, and I'll fight and I'll die for it. And I'll go over here and I'll do whatever it is that it takes, because my kids gonna live here forever and I ain't going nowhere else. But they believe the same thing we believe, just through the opposite lens. So when you see it like that, it's the same thing. People who just never been, they can't realize. I can respect it because he gonna get up and scrap it up the same way to go defend his country and defend what he got, the same way I gotta go over here and take it to him. You feel me? So I think people, when you do it, you realize it.
Also, somebody wrote in the chat, that's not true. The average population is 25. No, that's not true. Gaza has a very young population. 44% of the population is 0 to 14 years old. 44%. That is almost half. 15 to 24 years old is 21%. So 65% of the population is under the age of 25. That's my point I'm making. That's the difference about this. That's why people are very triggered by this war. Again, war is war. The reality is nobody does anything for anyone for free. And then I'm gonna let Mia have the last word and we're moving on.
I mean, wow, this is a very, very hot topic I see for everybody. It's a very hot topic, but I mean, in a perfect world, there would be a two-state solution. However, in reality, in the real world, Palestinians are just going to be ethnically cleansed at this point in time. And if they ever make it to having some sort of city in Gaza and it's beautiful, they will be redlined and they will be in ghettos. If you think rich elite motherfuckers want Palestinians who they view lower than dirt in the same apartment complexes and condos as them, these are the poorest of the poorest of the poor in the world. So even if they do get to stay in Gaza, they will absolutely be redlined and they will be in modern day ghettos. So either way, they're not getting anything out of this deal. And unfortunately, that's the reality of it. There will never be a two-state solution. Israel is going to get what they want regardless because they have the backing of all of the money. They control all the cards and they just control the world at this point in time. There's no point in even getting upset by it. It sucks for Palestinians, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. They're just going to unfortunately, it wouldn't surprise me in 25 years if we didn't have any Palestinians left because Israel wants what they want and they're going to get what they get. And that's the fact.
And that's why I said, for me, where I'm at is at least some of them will be able to live and work there. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's the acceptance of where I'm at on this situation. And don't give me a lecture in the chat that I don't care. I deeply care. I cried when this first came out in January, but I saw the writing on the wall, and where I'm at is I want some of them to at least remain. Kamal, what do you think? I know you're probably not going to, how much to say you hate this stuff.
I surely don't. Where the fuck the popcorn?
All right, we moving on.